Hi everyone, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Right, so good morning everyone. There are 11 of us. Let's wait for a few more minutes. In the meantime, what I'm doing is I will be sharing a question with all of you. So we have completed 7 days of training and we have another 11 days left after this, right? So we have quite a bit, right? So today is our 8th day. And what I would like to understand from all of you is in terms of, is there anything that you would like to change, right? Because we have only done about 1/3. We have 2/3 still left, right? Okay, so I am going to save the question and I'll send it to you, right? So I'm running the poll. I'll tell you how to answer it. Okay. So all of you can see that there is a link that I have shared on the chat window. You just have to click on the link and the question has been asked about what topics have you found most difficult, right? It is anonymous. So I don't really need to know your name. I just need to understand that as a group. Right now, there are about 14 of you. We'll have more people joining in. I'm just curious, right? I would like to understand what type of questions, what type of topics are you finding more difficult, right? Why am I asking this? Because, this will also help us prepare better content or give you the right material going forward, right? See, the topics still have to be done. It's not that if you say that one topic is very difficult, we will not cover it. We have to cover it, right? Because all these topics that we are covering are a must for your program. But if you feel that if all of you say, there's one topic that is really difficult, then we'll probably teach it in a different way, right? That's the point. Okay. Could you elaborate on this a little bit? You said coding in Excel. When you say coding, what are you referring to? Are you referring to Visual Basic? Are you referring to just writing complex formulas. You can even unmute yourself, right? Let's just spend 5-10 minutes on this before we start the session.
Hello.
Hi, your voice is very low. I'm not sure why, but I can hear you. Tell me.
Just give me a second. I'll connect my headphones
Yeah,
for
that
some
would be great.
answering.
Thanks.
Is it better?
I can hear you now. Tell
Yeah. I am not complaining about it per se. I actually am not familiar with coding and the data. I can see it, the things happening logically. I
me. Right,
can see, I can deduce the things that this must be added in the phrase or in the coding lines and everything. I can understand
right,
that. But when it comes to, like, this is completely new topic for me. I have never been familiar with this during my
right,
graduation and everything, so that is why I find it a little tougher than like just clicking on things and seeing what exactly, like, Power
right,
BI shows things. So
right,
everything is right in front of us, and in Excel what we need to do is that we need, I don't have any problem with logic. I just have having right now a problem with learning new things, or maybe remembering the keywords, or
right.
you can, yes. So I'm not complaining about it. I'm finding it a little tougher, harder, and I can cope with it. I guess I need some time, I need some practice, and maybe on a regular basis practice, so that will give me the edge over my past self.
Right, right. On that note, I'll share something with you.
Hmm.
Let me open my email. Okay. I'm opening the email so that you don't feel that I'm showing you something different. I'm showing you exactly what I've sent to Shobita. Shobita is in the learning and development team at GSK, right? For those
Hmm.
of you who do not know GSK, GSK is one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies, right? And it is the 10th largest pharmaceutical company in the world and 296 on the Fortune 500. It's a really large company. It also has some consumer products. So in the FMCG space, for example, Iodex is one of the big products that GSK has. Sensodyne is also one of the big products that GSK has. It has many brands with it. GSK is one of my clients, and you see how large the company is, right? And which means that they would have very senior people, people coming from excellent backgrounds, very good with analytics. So you can see the revenue of the company, 34 billion. Now, this is an outline that I sent to them for a training that I did last month, which was a 6-day training, 12 hours on Excel for people who had at least 8 years of experience, right? So we had about 8 to 15 years of experience. I would like all of you to see the topics that were covered, right? This is the direct email that I'm opening for you, right? Data cleaning, Excel shortcuts, tips and tricks, text to column, flash fill, text functions, find and replace, formulas, functions, subtotal aggregate, sum if, count if, and or, VLOOKUP, concept of VLOOKUP, pivot table and charts, dates, of course, we haven't done, conditional formatting. By looking at this, right, what, what is it that comes to your mind? You told me that you're understanding the logic, but of course, writing the formula is going to take time and you're going to learn it. But by looking at this, what do you understand?
Is this the report or something that you have sent them? I actually did not
This is an
understand.
outline. This is an outline for the training. So I send them an outline that these are the topics that I will be covering in the 6 days training.
So okay, so this is one of this Shobita, or the one you have sent all this data.
Kavita is the learning and development head at GSK, right?
Okay, so I understand that maybe you want her, or yes, to learn these things or to go through these things even after this much amount of experience. So maybe you're
Does that make
saying that,
sense? If
yes, it
people
does.
with 8 years of experience at
Yes.
minimum at such a large, prestigious company, that means that they're all coming from good backgrounds. If they're also requiring to learn these things, what does that tell you? It tells you that Excel is not like learning a topic in maths or in any other area where you say that, okay, I learned it and end of story. And then I'll move on to the advanced level. It's not like that. Why am I covering Excel shortcuts and tips and tricks for people with 8 years of experience? Haven't they learned enough shortcuts and tips and tricks till now? Of course they have. But the point is that Excel is not a finite list of things that, there are 100 things to be done. I have done 15, you have done 25, somebody has done 8, we have done 2. It's not like that. There are thousands of things in Excel, and everybody works on Excel in a different way. Our needs are different, our approach is different, right? So if two people are creating a marketing forecast or a financial model, how they do it is very different. And that's the beauty of Excel. It's a blank slate. Like you said, on Power BI, we can click on a few buttons and get the result. Excel is not like that. Excel starts with a blank page where you can't click on buttons and get anything. Whatever you need, you have to write formulas for it, right? So of course, by nature, it is more challenging. And that's why picking up Power BI is so much easier. Imagine Excel, at least some bit you would have worked on earlier. Power BI was a brand new software. And imagine what all we have learned till now. We've only done 2 days. Just think about it. Today's our third day, right? In 2 days, imagine how far we have come. We started with AI, we did formatting, we did different types of charts, we did calculations, right? Look how far we have come. So obviously by nature, Power BI is much easier. Obviously, Power BI is also very deep too. When we start doing calculations and all, you will realize that Power BI also offers a lot of features. But the purpose of showing this to you and to everybody else is to tell you what I've been telling you all along. It is supposed to be difficult. It is not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, then everybody would have done it. Why is it that all students are not able to pick up analytics at the same level? Some of them have an upper edge, some of them learn it at a very basic level. Some of them say that, this is not my area. I would rather get into learning and development or a profile that does not require data. But the point is that there is no profile that does not require data. I challenge you to go to naukri.com and look at any one profile after doing an MBA, which says that we don't need you to know, we don't need you to have any knowledge of Excel and PowerPoint. We don't need you to work with data. It's impossible, right? Even when I say it like this, you know that it is impossible. We are doing training with some banks now, public banks, okay, Bank of Baroda and all. Imagine, even in government jobs, even in public sector undertakings, we are still telling them how much of Excel is required. Yesterday, I was in a hotel, right? In the hospitality sector, one of my ex-students is working there with the IHG, Intercontinental Hotel Group. He works with Crown Plaza. He was telling me, sir, we require Excel so much. The point I'm trying to tell you is that Excel is pervasive. It is there everywhere. And it is not a finite thing that, okay, I can work on it for 1 month or, 3 months diligently and I will be good at it. It is a journey of a lifetime. I have spent 20 years working on it. You keep on, I can definitely see myself spending another 20 years working on it, right? So the point is that how do you learn when there is no goal? That's the problem. I know I'm talking a lot about this, but this is very important. I wanted to take a pause today, just speak to all of you and get a sense before we continue. Now, when there is a course that you're doing in college, let's say there's a course on now, introduction to marketing, right? Now, it's 44 lectures or 40, whatever it is in the university. There is a certain number of hours, there'll be so many classes and there will be 5 assignments, 2 midterms, 1 final project. And it's over and done with. After it is over, you don't really have to come back to the topic, right? Of course, you might read a little bit more, you might get better with age and with experience, but once you have learned the topic, how sales works, how marketing works, what is segmentation, positioning, what is brand marketing, you don't really have to keep on learning it for 2 years, correct? And that is true for most of the areas that you study. But data analytics is not like that. Even statistics. Statistics is about foundation. Once you learn it, once you understand it, that's it. You don't need to keep on learning it, right? But Excel, data analytics, Power BI is not like that. Even if you learn the function, so if you have learned pivot tables and if you learn VLOOKUP, that is not the end of the story. It's just the beginning of the journey. You have to learn so much more in it. Whoever comes to me and says, I know pivot at a very basic level, I tell them, I'll tell you intermediate. If somebody says, I know intermediate, I'll tell you, I'll do advanced. If somebody says advanced, I'll say, I'll show you expert. If somebody says expert, I tell them, I'll show you master. So I can increase the complexity for everybody, right? Because I've been working on it for so many years, right? So I hope I'm making sense. I'm not giving you a clear answer telling you this is what you should do. It's not that easy, right? When you're working in data, everything will go hand in hand. So you will do a little bit of Power BI, a little bit of Tableau. Starting next week, when you start with programming with Python, then you will do a little bit of Python as well. You will do some PowerPoint as well. Plus, you will have all your college submissions and projects and lectures that you have to do, right? So the point is that data analytics is like this. By nature, data analytics is not very objective. That lesson one, lesson two, lesson three is not like that, right? So yes, I understand. Back to your point that logically it makes sense. You understand what is happening, but then when you write it, the syntax, the formula, making mistakes, that happens to everybody. That is why I was showing you this thing. If you look at the outline, you will see that that is exactly what happens to every single person. Just one last example I'll show you so that you don't feel I'm showing you only for one client. There's a firm called D. Shaw, right? D. Shaw is one of the most prestigious financial modeling firms in the world. Some of you might have heard of it. It's an investment banking firm. It was started by a guy called David E. Shaw, which is who's a billionaire now. And D. Shaw is also famous for another reason, that D. Shaw was Jeff Bezos' first job, right? So I don't know if you know this, but before Jeff Bezos started Amazon, he was working with D. Shaw, right? D. Shaw is one of the most prestigious finance companies in the world. D. Shaw is one of my clients, right? And I would like to show you very quickly. See, the idea of getting me to do a training for you. Why is a training on analytics not done by a faculty? Faculties are very good at what they do. I have been a faculty myself, right? At the subject, at the curriculum, guiding you through a structured path. But when it comes to analytics, we work with analytics on a day-to-day basis, right? We work with different types of clients. We understand what the requirements are, how technology is changing, right? So I'll quickly show you. Just give me a moment. Do you see this? I did a 4-day session for Day Show, intermediate level, and these are all IIT graduates, right? The absolute best of the best. This was a session on Power BI, but this was not a basic session. It was an intermediate session. Next month, I'll be doing an advanced session. Look at this. Connecting to different data sets. We only connected to Excel, but we connected to different data sets. Drill down, I'm done for you. Tooltips, I'll be doing for you tomorrow. We have done AI visuals and analyze. We have done some inbuilt visuals. That's what we're doing. I'll be showing you some custom. Do you see again what I'm saying? The topics remain the same. Obviously, the skill level changes, but these guys, after spending years in the industry, after gaining so much experience, passing out from the best colleges in the world, they're also sitting, and we have some people from the New York team as well, right, in this. So the point I'm trying to make is that this is how analytics is. It is not a goal, it's a journey. You don't say, oh, I want to tell me how much time will it take for you to learn a topic. It's not possible. If you ask me, how good are you at VLOOKUP? I'm very good at VLOOKUP. Does that mean I know everything about VLOOKUP? No chance. Is there any topic in Excel about which I know everything? It is not possible, because around the world, there will be somebody or the other who's an expert at one specific area. I have areas where I'm an expert, but I cannot say there is any area where I know everything. It's just not possible. And I'm a completionist. For me, it's very irritating when I have to tell myself that, no, I don't know every topic. When I study, I want to learn every single thing in an area. But then after being in data analytics, I've realized it is not possible. You cannot physically learn everything, because there is so much that Excel or any other tool for that matter will have to offer. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Does that help? Does it make sense in terms of what I'm saying?
Yes, it does. It does actually.
Right.
You're just trying to say that we need to just discover a better self of better ourselves in the future. So
Absolutely.
maybe after working on these softwares again and again and again, we will get to know by our end. So we will get to know them better. Sure.
Exactly.
Thank you.
The last one-line takeaway I'll give you is that do not focus on how much you have to do. Just focus on learning more every day. If you are learning every day, trust me, you don't need me then to motivate you after 15 days. After 15 days, you will yourself feel, oh, I think it's starting to make sense. In the early days, everything seems very difficult. It seems so much information. when you start to spend some hours, it makes sense. Okay. So somebody said creating formulas using combination of if and all. I agree with you that if statements are more complex because it's not a straight formula. You have to first think. That is why we call it a logical statement, because it's logical, right? You have to think of the logic in your head. I have seen a lot of companies where when they're writing an if statement, like a very complex one, what they do is that they actually write it down on a piece of paper, like a flow chart. Haven't you seen those if flow charts, everyone? One second. I'm sure even if you're not from IT, at some point you would have seen this somewhere or the other, right? Where we say that, okay, let's start. What is the first case? What is the first condition? If it is true, this is the outcome. If it is false, this is the outcome. If it is false, then there are other two possibilities, outcome 2 and outcome 3, which is true. What am I trying to tell you? Sometimes when you're writing a very complex formula, you might want to take a piece of paper and then write down or draw this, right? Because it will make it easier for you to understand how to write the if statement. And if statements are a part of every language, right? Whether you're working on Excel or whether you're working in programming. Again, the point here is that if is one of the most fundamental things, right, in data analytics. Obviously, because there will always be checks and questions and paths that you have to follow, right? So yes, I agree that writing if is a little complex, but that's the beauty of it. No? If you work hard and if you learn it well, you will always be better than other people, right? You have that opportunity where 9 other people might say, I'm okay with it, but you might say I'm very good at it. And that will only come with practice. Okay, great. Everybody else who has come in, I'll just give you the context of what we are doing. We have had 7 days of training. We have another 11 days left, including today. And I just want to, get a sense of what are the topics that you have found difficult. Even if 90% of you tell me this topic was very difficult, let's say pivot tables or whatever it is, right? Let's say the substitute function, for example. I'm not going to tell you, oh, 90% of you found it difficult, so we will not cover it from next year. It has to be covered because everything that we are teaching you because it is important. You have to learn it. See, if I did a case study for you, right, and you tell me, Havish, so we did not like the case study too much because we were not able to relate to it, or could you take an Indian example? That is a different point. Then I can say, okay, fine, let me take a different problem. But if you say that the topic itself is difficult, I can only agree with you, but I cannot say that, okay, fine, leave it, don't do it, because you have to do it, right? Okay. Anybody else? I have shared the link on the chat window. If you can all take 2-3 minutes, I have one more question after this, and by 9:30 we'll be able to start the session. Right? The question is, what topics have you found difficult? Just think about what all we have done up till now. So we have done flash fill, left, right, mid, find, repeat, substitute, right? We did VLOOKUP, SUMIF, COUNTIF, pivot tables, right? We did statistics, we did charts. So just think about all the topics that we have covered. Okay. So you're saying Excel, that's very broad, you know. Uh, it's like saying what was difficult about your MBA program, and you say that no. Somebody says what was difficult about your entrance examination, and you say the questions were difficult. I mean, just be a little more specific because I would like to then be able to either help you or talk to you about it, right? See, it's okay if you can't think of anything right now. That's all right. But my only point is that when we like I by nature I'm an introvert, right? So of course I'm running a business. I have to do sales and I can speak to audiences of 1500 people also. That's a different matter. But by personality and by choice, I'm an introvert. So in a lot of meetings, what would happen is that you have some good ideas or some good questions, or there's something you want to know, but you might not talk about it for a variety of reasons, right? You might think, why the other people are also not doing it? Why should I do it? What if my question is a simple question? What if the question has already been answered? You should never think about these things, whether you're in a classroom setting with the faculty, whether you're in a workshop with me as an external instructor, or whether you are working in the corporate, right? The only regrets that you have in life is the questions you did not ask. Believe you me, I never have a regret that why did I ask that stupid question. See, if I asked that stupid question and people laughed at me, which happens all the time, that's okay. I asked a question because I did not know the answer, right? Or I was confused. So in a meeting, if I ask a question and 19 other people laugh and say, Havish, you don't even know this, so what if I don't know? Do you know everything that I know? Of course not. If I don't know something, I don't know something. It is better to ask rather than to tell yourself, no, what will other people think? And, let me figure it out later. No, never do that, right? So whether it's with me or with any other setup, see, these are my learnings and experiences I'm sharing with you after spending 12 years in the corporate. That, okay, let's see. Boring and difficult. Can't understand the formula, too many brackets, commas, if to conclude formula in Excel. See, I don't know what to say, because if you're doing an MBA program, um, can you tell me what specialization will you be picking up? Maybe just put it on the chat window or unmute yourself. Still, uh, what are your inclinations towards? Is it marketing? Is it finance? Fair enough. But whatever it is, if you look at the big ones, you look at marketing, HR, finance, then maybe operations, IT, right? Like that. Um, you don't have a choice. Let's be very clear. After doing an MBA, you have to be excellent, not even good or okay or have some knowledge. You have to be excellent with Excel. Like I was saying earlier, pick up any job profile after spending 3-4 months when you have an idea as to what you want to do. Don't take my word for it. Go to naukri.com. Just type the profile that you're interested in, right? And just read the job description, the JD. And in the JD, you tell me whether they have written advanced knowledge of Excel is required or not. Because see, the question now is not, do you like it or do you not like it? Like I have said to you many times, there are many things that I also don't like, even in Excel. There are certain areas which I love. There are certain areas which I find a little boring or a little complex. But see, or a little frustrating. But the point is, you still have to learn it, because the organization is not going to ask you, oh, now tell me which topics do you like to work and which topics do you do not like. I will not give you the work for topics. It's not going to happen like that. No, when you work somewhere, they're going to give you a project, whether even if it's a summer internship, they're going to tell you you have to do these 10 things. They're not going to ask you how many things you like to do and how many things you do not like to do, right? So you will really have to sit back, think about it, and I don't know, change the way you think, and the attitude has to be positive, right? Because um, even if you did not understand it or you found it difficult, you have to figure out a way to like it. I just put it like that. I'm not asking you why don't you like it. Fine, maybe you don't like it, maybe you found it complex, right? Maybe your background is something different. But what I'm telling you is you have to learn to find a way to like it. Because, and I'm telling you this now, because after spending 5-6 months, remember, a lot of other students who like Excel will be getting very good at it. Somebody will be doing financial modeling, somebody will be doing operations, scenario management, right? I don't want any of you to be left behind, right? If I was only concerned with those of you who like analytics, why would I ask you this question, right? Some of you are already telling me we love the topic, this is what we want to do. A few students spoke to me and they said that we love the topic. I think I want to pursue a career in data analytics. But that's not really the point. The point is that all of you have to understand that this is important for you, right? Great. I'll just wait for one more minute if anybody has any other points on this. Yeah. So that's all I'm asking you to do. See, I have been a student myself, right? So When you say it's extremely boring and difficult, I don't take it personally because there are many topics I don't find interesting as well. When I was in college, I did not find finance interesting. And you might be shocked. Some students might be shocked and they say, how is it possible that you did not find? I did not. What can I say? Like when I started learning about the stock market, I just did not like it. I don't know why, right? It's very hard to explain that. But some of my friends loved it. I did not like it. I found it boring. I found it complex. I found it difficult. And that's completely okay. But not learning the stock market was a choice. It's not a must. But learning Excel is a tool. It's a must. Like it's like saying, should I improve my communication skills or not? Of course you have to. You don't have a choice, right? Okay. Great. One more question, everyone, and then we'll start. This is more, it's not just about what you found difficult and what you found easy. But the link is on the chat window. The question is about what we've completed 7 days. We have 11 more days, including today. What are your suggestions on what we can change in terms of methodology? I'm not telling you that I will do what you're telling me. So if you say change this, change that, it might not be possible, but I will definitely try my level best, right? If there are any, small changes that we can make to the way we are teaching, the type of examples that we are covering. But if you tell me the topic is too complex, make it easy, I can't, because the topics have to be covered, right? So just think about it for 1 or 2 minutes. If there's anything that comes to your mind, I might also not realize it. So if you say, can you do this? And I might say it's a good idea, right? So it is not a test. We're not looking for the best answers. We're just looking for whatever is on your mind, right? So always be a part of these activities, right? Like I'm a part of the activity by asking the question. All of you have to be part of the activities, whatever comes to your mind. Anyone? See, now I'll insist. I can't have 22 of you in a group without any ideas. You have to come up with ideas. Okay. We can be informed a day before about whatever you will cover the next day so that we can do a bit of research in our own. See, I am trying to tell you every day that this is what we will cover the next day, right? For example, last week I told you that what we'll be doing this week, which is Power BI. On the first day, I told you that next day, second day, we'll be doing visuals. Yesterday also, I told you that we'll be doing the same thing. We'll be doing visuals. But it cannot be in more detail. And see, you can't do research because you're learning these things for the first time. I don't mind telling you, right? I think I'm already doing that. Also, how can you research about something which you don't know? For example, let me give you an idea. If I tell you that today we are going to do the waterfall chart, right? Now the waterfall chart is a new chart, something we have never done earlier, right? So there's no point of telling you that we are doing the waterfall chart because like yesterday we did the ribbon chart. Even if I tell you today we are going to do the ribbon chart, it doesn't make much sense. But sure, I'll still do it. That's why I tell you, at the end of the session, I always tell you what we're going to do tomorrow. If you would like even more information, you can always let me know. Please give an idea about the final assessment. See, the final assessment, I hope all of you are able to see how the final assessment is going to look like. Nothing new, nothing special. I'm going to ask you to make an Excel pivot table. I'm going to ask you to make a Power BI dashboard like what we have already learned to do, right? You'll make a column chart. You will put some colors in it. You will put some text boxes in it. It is not supposed to be difficult, right? I'm not going to give you a tough problem and you don't know the answer. It's not like that. I'm just going to give you a data set and I'm going to ask all of you, try to make a visual. Like we made a map, we made some column and bar charts. Exactly the same thing all of you will have. Right? Material or data or a way to practice after the class. But you already have the data, right, everyone? So the data has been given to you, like the data set that I've given to you, which is the Superstore data. That is a very rich data. Rather than practicing on different data sets, I would recommend that you practice on this data set only, the Superstore data, right? Downloading data sets from Kaggle is a bit difficult. Can I provide you different types of data sets so that you can practice more? Yes, it is difficult to download data sets from Kaggle, and that is the reason I asked you to try to do it, because you will get comfortable with it, right? Because see, today I don't mind. I'll send you the data sets right away. But tomorrow, how will you get data sets? Who's going to give you data sets? Nobody will. Around the world, Kaggle is the #1 data repository in the world. So you have to learn how to get data sets from Kaggle. Nobody can teach that to you, right? You want data sets? I'll give you data sets. It's not a problem. I'll send it right away. But I still feel very strongly. Remember, Superstore, the data set I've given to you, everyone, is one of the most popular data sets in the world. If you Google Superstore data, do you see how many different types of dashboards have been created with the same data on which we have been working for 2 days, right? Segment, region, country, all that, right? But anyway, before we continue, let me send it to you. See, that's what I'm saying. These things could have been done earlier as well. No? If any of you had told me that we need more data sets, I could have sent it to you earlier. Never mind. That's the purpose of having this conversation, no? So that there's no problem. So I'll give you new data sets, right? Give me a moment. Okay, so work in progress and times Power BI and data sets, right? So I'm giving you data sets on finance, financial ratios, hospitality sector, human resources, manufacturing, which is, it's not manufacturing data, it's actually on accident, airplane accident, but it is the same concept in manufacturing where you want to see errors and mistakes and issues that are happening. There's a marketing and sales data and there is a weather data, because some people want to work on macro indicators, right? Like this, I'm sharing everything with you, but I can't because this file is really large. So what I'll have to do is, if you allow me, okay, how large is this? It's 105 MB. So I'll quickly open WeTransfer and send this file to all of you. This link expires in a week, so please make sure to download it. Great. Let's come back. What else? Teaching is wonderful. Okay. See, to be very honest with you, I'm happy. Thank you for sharing. It's always nice to get compliments. Like I loved some of your dashboards that you presented, but I'm more focused on what we need to change. Is the final assessment going to be live? It's going to, no, hold on. The final assessment, everybody, is going to be exactly what you have been taught. I will give you a data set, right? And it's not that you have to do it in 1 hour. You will be split into groups of 5 students. You will be given a data set. I'll ask you to create a pivot table. I will ask you to create a Power BI dashboard, and I'll ask you to create a PowerPoint. Even before we continue Power BI today, are all of you at least this comfortable that you can make a Power BI dashboard, everyone? If I give you a data set and I give you 3 days, are you confident that at least a simple Power BI dashboard you can create with multiple visuals on it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Makes sense? And see, we have not even covered Power BI. We have 3 more days left. So obviously by another 3 days, you'll feel more comfortable. So like I have been saying, do not worry about the assessment. The assessment is not really an assessment. See, this is not a part of your college curriculum. This is not going to go on your GPA, right? So this is not going to affect, this is not a marks that we are going to calculate. It is more of a practice for you. All of you are asking me, sir, we want to practice, we want to practice. That is what we are going to do. We are going to give you 3 days, a data set, and you work as a group of 5, and you have to just put different calculations, try to create different charts, use different colors, try to make a map, things like that, right? I hope you're feeling more comfortable now with what you have to do and you understand what you have to do, right? Great. Anybody else? I'll just wait for 2 more minutes. And I know we have spent a lot of time on this, but I think this was important to take this break. I hope I haven't missed anything else, right? Great. My Gmail dashboard looks wonderful. I'm not sure what is the question exactly. My Gmail dashboard, as in, are you referring to the theme that I'm using or something else? I, I didn't get the question. Just tell me once again. Anyway, I think we can close this discussion then. Like I said, you're always welcome to talk to me. If you want to speak to me after the session, not during the session, you have my number. Please feel free to call me, right? Okay, great. So, sure. Okay. So remember, the project that will be given to you, of course, you have to complete it. For example, if I tell you to make a Power BI dashboard and you come back and you make one chart, see, it's not acceptable, right? Now, but if you make different charts, that is all we require, right? So of course you have to do a good job, but it is not that you have to study very hard or anything. You just have to practice whatever you have done up till now, right? Do not worry if you still feel you want to do a mock, right? If you want to do a mini project before the final project, we can do that. Does it make sense? Before doing the final assessment, I think let's do one. So after this week, when we'll be finishing Power BI, right? What we'll do is I'll give you a sample of exactly what I'll give you in the final assessment so that all of you can get comfortable doing it, right? I hope that makes sense. Great. I think let's do that then, right? So there's no confusion around what is it. Maybe it will be a surprise. You will give us something different. No, I'll tell you exactly what type of question I'll be giving you. Obviously, a different question. I'll give you a data set. You practice on it. If there are any issues, any questions, you can ask me right now. And then, of course, I'll give you that assessment at the end. And also remember, everybody, one more important point. You have been given a few days to, let me just open the timetable. You have been given 3 days to prepare, right? Do you see this? Preparation break. During these 3 days of preparation break, I am available, okay? It is not that the last session is over and then I will only meet you on the final day to assess you. You're going to, you have access to me over these 3 days. So if you get stuck somewhere, see, I'm not going to give you ideas. I will not do your work for you. But if you get stuck, if you're not sure what to do, I'm there to help you, right? So also keep that in mind, right? See, I am going to grade you, obviously. Otherwise, how do we know who did a wonderful job and who did a good job, right? So there will be some form of marking there. but that is just for our internal analysis. But absolutely, I mean, otherwise, what is the challenge? If I don't tell you that there is a competition in a way, then everybody will create a simple dashboard and give it to me. That's not the point. No? I want to see who's working harder and who's able to create something better. Okay, Mansi, you have joined today. I understand there's a lot of catching up that you have to. So because there are 6 people, no, I think 7 or 8 people, 73 became 81. So there are 8 students who have joined yesterday. I know you must be a little lost because there is so much that we are discussing. You would have received an email from my side yesterday, uh, which has the details to the Teachable account, right? All the recordings for the sessions that have happened till now is already available there, right? So do not worry at all. Go through the email. If you have any questions, my number is there. You already have an email from my side. In the subject, at the bottom, my number is there. Please feel free to call me after the session is over. Right? Great. I hope I've answered all the questions. If at all there's anything more, please either put it on the Google Sheets or you can ask me later. Excellent. Thank you, everyone, for all of this. Great. Right. Let's quickly come back to where we left off yesterday, and we'll continue from there. So we have files, week 2, batch 1, and SRCC. Right. So everybody who has joined in today for the first time, last week we had done Microsoft Excel. We had done 4 days actually. This week we have done 2 days of Power BI, which is what I'm showing right now. And we have another 3 days of Power BI, right? Of course, right now you might not understand all of what we are doing. That's okay. Just watch the session today. You might not be able to practice with me, obviously, because you haven't done the first bit, but still attend it, understand everything, and the recordings are already there. You will have a little bit of catching up to do, unfortunately, but whatever help you require, you can ask, or maybe ask one of the other people in the group, right? Great. So far we have done our question and answer. We have done analyzed data. We have done summarized. We have done connecting 2 charts where we saw how by changing any one, by selecting a state, you notice everything is changing, right? Okay. Now, yesterday, what all did we do? We did the drill, which was these 4 arrows that we have, right? So let me quickly recap it. At the first level, we only have the 4 years. So we have 14, 12, 13, 14, 15. If I click on the expand button, it shows me all the quarters as well and then all the months as well. Then we made a slicer, and in the slicer, you can see that we can change the period. So if I don't want to see the data for the complete period, we can do that like this. And what about the color? The color was also something that we had selected from conditional formatting to get these colors. Next, we have another type of conditional formatting where we kept a scale. So we said that there are 2 colors that we got from the website. I've also written it here, color.adobe.com. We made 2 constant lines. So we made 1 line here, we made 1 line here, which was in the analytics button. So we made 2 constant lines. And yeah, I don't think there was anything new here. We kept the data label, the number as well. A ribbon chart is one of the more complex charts. Okay. So if you find it a little difficult, it is difficult, right? Because it is not difficult to make, but it is difficult to understand how you want to make it and what do you want to keep in it, right? So in the ribbon chart, what is it doing? It is telling us that the change or the growth that is happening from one quarter. So Q1 to Q2 is what? It is 41%, right? Like this. I also showed you that ribbon chart can also show you the year-over-year growth. So I can see that Q4 has grown 38% year-over-year. And all of these files have been shared with you. So if you want to go back and practice, you can always do that. Right? After that, we did the line chart, which is like this. Very simple. We created a line chart. In the line chart, we kept our sales value. We went to analytics and we added a forecast. And we added a forecast for 24 months, right? So you can see that I can change it here. If I say 36 months, for example, becomes 36 months. Okay? Like this. After that, we created the scatter chart. The scatter chart requires two numbers. So we have the profit on the y-axis and we have the sales on the x-axis, right? And there are 797 customers that we have. And the final example that we did was a little more detail, where we saw that we have subcategory, right? So there are 17 subcategories that we have in the detail. Average sales is in the x-axis and average profit is in the y-axis. And then we have the month in the play axis so that I can click and I can see the animation. Just to tell you once again, what we have done up till now, you will get the same questions on the assessment, the same charts you have to create. But obviously, somebody might choose a bar chart, somebody might choose a column chart, somebody might keep a map, somebody might make a scatter chart. You will use a blue color, somebody will use a purple. That's all. The idea is that we are not doing anything new. You will be given a data set and you will have to create charts like this, what we have done. Correct? Great. Any questions, anyone, on what we have done so far? Otherwise, we'll continue with some new topics. Anyone, any questions? If you would like me to repeat it, I'm happy to make it once again. If there are any questions you have, you can ask me. Right? Just let me know. All okay? All right. Great. So we'll continue and we will create something different, right? Okay. The next thing I want to show you is, let me quickly see what we would like to cover. Okay. Let's make a matrix, everyone. This one. Make a new page. I'm going to call this the matrix, and it is this one. Okay, let's see now. So I'm making the matrix. Let's make it a little large because we'll be keeping many values in it, right? So just make the size a little large. And in the matrix, so the matrix is just like a table. Like we create a table on Excel, we are doing very similar. We are creating a table on Power BI as well, right? So what we will do here is I will keep my Okay, just watch carefully. I will keep my subcategory in the rows. So there are 17 subcategories that we have. After that, we will keep our market in the columns. There are 5 markets and my sales value, or let's keep my profit in the values like this. So I'm just telling you what we have done. We have made a matrix. Then I have kept subcategory in the rows, market in the columns, and profit in the values. Right? So matrix is in the visualization, subcategory in the rows, market in the columns, and profit in the values. So I hope you can see what is row and column here. Row means that these are my rows, and column means that these are my columns, like this. Can somebody tell me what are the changes that you feel we should be doing to this data to make it look better? Anyone? Any ideas? What changes do you think we should be making?
Highlighting it with the
Background color, excellent. What else? We can add some colors. What else? We can highlight the top category. Rahul, we can highlight the top by clicking on the column as well. That will sort the data like this. So I can see that copies is number 1, phones is number 2, right? So I think all of you are talking about colors, and I completely agree with you. When it is a table, the only thing you can do is to make it more presentable, to add some colors in it, right? There's one other thing I would want to do. Do you think I should keep the 2 decimal places or should we remove it? Definitely no, because the decimal place is not adding any value. As a business, when I know I'm doing 14,000, I don't need to know if it is 14,008.63, correct? So I think that is the first thing we should do. Second thing, we will remove the colors, right? Excellent point that the negative figures should be highlighted, because right now what is happening is that if I ask you, can you tell me if there are any negative numbers? At one glance, it is very difficult. Like if I look very carefully, I can see that, oh, the last row has some negative values in it. But it's not very easy to make out where the negative values are. Right? So let's do it one by one. Please go to format, everybody. Please click on formatting. Sure, Garima, I'll cover that as well. How to increase the size? We'll do that as the first step. So first go to format. Right? And all the students are joining for the first time. This is a visual that we have never covered. All of them are doing it for the first time. I know it would have been great if you could have done this with us, but that's okay. You will have a little bit of catching up to do because there are 4 hours of videos that are already there, but that's okay, right? It might take you a little more time, but then you will have to catch up, right? Okay. So for today, you can just watch and understand and ask me if you have any questions. So we make a table, or rather a matrix. We go to formatting. And a lot of you said that colors have to be changed, but I think we should also increase the size. The size of the values is very small right now. So let me go to values, right? And in the value, there is a text size, and we can increase that. Right? Let's make it 14. All good so far. So we went to formatting, we selected values, and we increased the text size. For the color, we will go to how to increase the size of subcategories and continents. See, if you want to do that, then you have to go to the column header and the row header. Same thing, we have to increase the size. So I'll first go to the column header and I will increase the size. Let's make it 14. And let me go to the row headers. I will make it 14. So basically I have to do this 3 times. For the row header, for the column header, and for the values as well. See, in Excel, it is much simpler, no? In Excel, you can just select the data and increase the size. But here it is much more difficult if you want to do that. Right? Okay, let's scroll down and there will be an option called conditional formatting. If all of you remember, we had done this in the Excel training as well, where I showed you how to put a color, how to apply a color on the cells. Exactly the same thing that we're doing right now. I go to conditional formatting. If I click on background color, simple, it gives me the background color. What does it tell me? It tells me that values that are higher are dark blue, values that are lower are light blue, like this. But because we have negative numbers, maybe it is a good idea to show red and green, right? So I will go to advanced controls and just change the color. Make the lowest value as red and make the highest value as green. I'm just selecting a dark green, like this. So once again, what have we done? We went to conditional formatting, right? I selected my background color. We went to advanced controls. I have made the lowest value as red and the highest value as green. Right? Just do this, everyone. Right? And the result should look like this. Okay, maybe I'll change the colors. It's too dark. Let's keep a slightly lighter color. One second. I think that's much better, right? So I think this answers the question that I want to see the numbers high and low. So it's very clear which numbers are high and which numbers are low. So you can see that the maximum, the highest numbers are mostly in Asia Pacific, but Europe has a lot of them as well, right? United States has a few. Africa is typically lower, and then tables has some very low numbers, some negative numbers. Any questions so far? Okay, let me show you something very interesting. There is an option called the font color. Please select that, turn it on. Give me a moment. I'm not sure why it's not changing. Oh, actually, that will not work with different colors. No, never mind. My mistake. Leave that. That will only work when you have used, when you have not used the two different colors. When you use the same color, then the font color will work. So we can do that also. Let me reset it. Wait. So the background color, I will reset it, but I will have to see how to do that. I'm also not quite sure. Let me see. Let's try once. So let's keep the minimum as a red, and let's keep the maximum as red like this. I'm not quite sure. There's some mistake I'm making, but that's all right, right? I think let's stick with the red and green. I think it looks really nice. But what if I wanted to keep a rule? The condition is that if the number is less than 0, the color should be red. If the number is between 0 and let's say 25,000, then it should be yellow. And if it is greater than 25,000, it should be green. Right, everyone? So 3 different colors. Less than 0 is red. 0 to 25,000 is yellow. And greater than 25,000 is green. Now, I don't want to change this because this is also good. So I will duplicate my sheet. Right click and duplicate the sheet. And the difference this time is that when we go to conditional formatting, right, I will go to advanced controls like we did earlier. But I will not select a color scheme. I will select a rule. And I'm sure you can understand what the rule would be. The rule would be that if my value is greater than or equal to a number but less than another number, right? So I'll say if it is greater than or equal to 25,000 number, okay, not a percent, and it is less than some very large number, let's say 1 lakh, then the color should be green. Then I'll again say if the number is greater than 0, but it is less than 25,000, then it should be yellow. Otherwise, it should be red. So if the number is greater than or equal to, let's say, minus 25,000, and it is less than 0, then it should be red. Let me first show you the result. You see what we have done, and then I'll open it once again so you can copy this, right? This is great, isn't it? Because now you notice it is telling me exactly what we need to know. It is telling me that, okay, the green ones are numbers that are greater than 25. The red is number that is less than 0, negative. Do you notice there is a negative here, which we would have never identified otherwise? And the yellow is the rest of the data, which is between, it's a good amount, but it is between 0 and 25,000. Right? please try this out. It's very simple, but I would like you to practice this. And if you have any questions, please ask.
How would I get the things written in the written below the table? Duplicate, ribbon, chart, line chart. This one. I'm not getting it in my system.
Share your
These
screen.
things, duplicate matrix and all, matrix, duplicate, scatter.
I haven't understood. Just share your screen. Let me see.
Wait a second. These things, you getting?
No, I'm confused. You have the name of the pages, no?
These things.
No, but show me your file, no? Otherwise, how will I know what is the problem?
This is mine.
No, this is the video that you're showing me. I can see the video on your screen.
This is my system.
See, the screen that you're sharing with me, I can see the video. I can see the internet browser with Teachable open on it.
Okay, sorry. Once again, I'll try.
No problem.
Now you getting?
Right. So what is the question again?
Actually, I want to ask you. You getting the things written here, na?
But I've changed the name, no? If you double click on it, you can change the name. Page 1, where it says page 1.
Okay.
If you double click on it, I changed that manually.
Okay.
Yeah, that did not come automatically. I had to change it manually.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's come back. Right. So after the table is made, we went to conditional formatting, background color, advanced controls, and then you can see the rest table. See, this is the difference between a good dashboard and an excellent dashboard. Everybody can make a table. That is not difficult. But very few people will put in the effort or have the knowledge of doing this. And don't you feel that this is much better than the previous one? See, this is also okay. But it's very colorful, but it doesn't tell me exactly what we need to know. This one is telling me exactly what we need to know. Less than 0, 0, 25, 25, right? Just a minute.
So I'm not able to enter these values 25,000. It's stuck at -1 on my system.
Have you changed it to number first?
Yeah, I changed it to number and I've checked all
Share your
the.
screen. Let's see.
Just a minute.
Right. So go to conditional formatting, advanced controls, rules. Okay.
Yeah, now when I'm writing anything, it's not getting written. It's like this.
I'm thinking just. Try to put a positive number. Is that working?
No positive number is working. It's directly coming as minus a negative value.
No, it will come as minus only because your less than is 0, no? So the
But actually on your system, it was saying 25,000. That's fine.
that doesn't matter. First you change the 0, no? Where it says less than 0, you make that, let's say 1 lakh.
Still here also it's saying minus only.
So when you type 1, it is not allowing, correct?
No. Yeah, now it's just a second. Yeah, it works now. I don't know.
No, there's a reason for it. See, what is happening is that if you say less than 0, then obviously it cannot be greater than a negative number. I mean, it has to be greater than a negative number. No, it cannot be greater than 0.
Oh,
I'll tell you
actually,
once
I
again.
tried that as well. There was some mistake. I don't know. It may
That's
be.
okay. That's okay. But
Okay.
just try it once again. Just type 0 here. In maximum, type 0. Correct. Now come back here. Try to type a positive number.
Now it's taking. That is what I'm saying.
But
There
it is
was a
still
mistake
giving an
earlier.
error. See, it is still giving you
Yeah.
a red box. No? So it's telling you that it doesn't make sense logically. Greater than 25 or less. That's okay. See, like I said, like any other software, there will always be bugs with the software, right? So this is very common. Every once in a while, something will go wrong. You know that you have done the correct thing, but it doesn't work like that. That's okay.
All right.
Great. Okay, I'll not share my screen in case anybody else wants to share it. Otherwise, I'll share it. Right. So, tell me the question, Vishal.
I'm asking, is it okay what I've done?
It is okay. This is great because you can see higher numbers are red, the low numbers are yellow. But I would also like you to put 3 colors where we say that 0 less than 0 is red, 0 to 25 is yellow, and greater than 25 is green. So this is great, but just make sure to practice it one more time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Why don't you do it right now so that the others can watch as well? I'll help you with it, and it will be a practice for everybody. Just copy the sheet. No, let this be like this. Don't change this.
Okay.
Let this one be like this only. Just duplicate the sheet, right click on the page and right click on the page where it says page 1. Page 1. Right click and duplicate.
Here only?
No, on page 1 where it says page 1. Right click and right click.
I'm doing it, but there's any problem in my system, I think.
No, just try to right click with the mouse. Is that not working?
I'm doing with it mouse.
Okay. You're working on a laptop, right? Obviously.
Yes.
Okay. Can you then try to use the right click on the trackpad on the laptop directly if the mouse is giving you any
Actually,
problem?
my track map is not working, so that's why I'm using mouse.
No problem. Just make a blank page in that case.
Okay. By
Just
clicking.
make a new page.
Okay.
By clicking on the plus button.
By clicking on the plus button.
Right. Now make a matrix.
Matrix.
So this will also be a practice for everyone. Make a matrix, correct. Now put the subcategory in the rows.
Wait a second, I have to move this.
Yeah,
here.
manually. So put the subcategory in the rows.
Subcategory in the rows.
Correct. Now put the market in the columns.
Market in the columns.
Right. And in the values, keep the profit.
Values and the profit in the values.
Yeah, the profit in the values, correct. Increase the size, perfect. And now go to formatting, make it even larger, perfect. Go to format, go to values, just scroll down, go to values, scroll down, come down. No, not so much, a little less. No, click on that gray line and drag it down. Yeah, just click on the green, exactly. And now open values, go down a little more by clicking on the gray line. No, don't do it like that. It will go too fast, right? Increase the text size, make it 40. Right? Increase the size of the table as well.
This much is okay?
No, just increase it, no, so that we can see all the numbers. Right. Now go back to format, and then you will get an option called conditional formatting. Just scroll down. Right. This first one,
Background color.
Background color. Now click on advanced controls. Right. Now go to format by in the top left corner and select rules. Format by and select rules, the second one. Right. We'll just do 2 right now, but later on you can do with 3 also. The first one will be greater than or equal to 0. So you will say that 0 as a number.
Wait a second. Can you wait a second?
Yeah. So where it says %.
My neighbors are disturbing me. Can you wait a second?
Sure.
Okay. Now, after rules.
Right. So where it says %, change that to a number. Where it says 0%.
Okay.
The %, change that to a number. Where it says %.
Percent.
Yeah.
Number.
Right. Now change it. So you write greater than or equal to 0 and less than 25, less than 1 lakh.
In this one or this one?
This is okay. The next one, the one on the right, less than 1 lakh.
Here?
Go to the other box, the one on the right.
Okay. I have to shift this.
The one after this. Yeah.
Okay.
Change this to 1 lakh. Number is okay. Yeah, number is okay.
Okay. Change it to the 1 lakh.
Right. Now click on new rule. New rule. No, not there. On the right side. Look carefully. There's a new rule button.
New rule. Here.
Right. Now the other one will be greater than or equal to minus 1 lakh.
Okay. Here.
This is also a number, minus 1 lakh.
Here.
Yep. As a number. No, don't change that. Just change the % to a number. Right, and less than 0, and just change the color. The first color will become the color where it has the blue color.
Okay.
Just see the color on the right side.
I see the color on the. Wait a second.
Do you see the blue color where it says then, and there is a blue colored square with a drop down?
Here?
No. There is a box, no, with a blue color in it. Right.
This one?
Yeah. Change this to red.
Red.
Or any color you want. Just select some shade of red. And the other one will become green. The first one will become green.
Green.
Go to more colors and select green.
Blue or green?
Select green. Go to more colors and select green.
Green. Okay.
Done. Now click on OK. Click on OK.
I'm not getting green color here. Okay.
Right. So that's what we have done. We have said that all the negative numbers will be red and all the positive numbers will be green.
Okay.
Excellent. So we have done this like this. Any questions, anybody?
No question.
Okay. Anybody else? Any question you would like to ask? Okay. Okay. Great. So we have created a matrix, and I'm sure you can see why this is important, because when you look at reports, any report for any sector, every time you're not going to make a chart. Sometimes tables are also important. If I show you a report of any company, I'm just picking any one at random, let's say EY. Okay. So this is on global wealth management. You will see that there are always some charts, but hopefully there'll be some tables as well. Even though I can't see any here. So we can't find any here. Let me try a different one. Wait. This is a different type of report with no tables. Let's come to KPMG and let's see. When you want to find something, you'll never find it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like this is very similar to what we have just done, isn't it? We have created colors in a table. Right? So that's the point. Obviously, KPMG will be having a design team that will do all these things for them, but that's okay. That's what we're trying to do. Why do you think they're using these colors? Because they're trying to tell us that some numbers are high and some numbers are low. Exactly what we have done as well in our example. Right? Can we find such kind of reports easily on Google? So Yatharth, I already explained this earlier. I'll do it once again. All you have to do is you have to go to Google and you have to say, write the name of any company, any consulting or research firm, right? So let's say KPMG, and type the name of any sector. So let's say education and PDF, like this. Okay. And you will find different PDFs available. Let me open one of them. Right? Let's do a different one. So let me say we are writing Deloitte, right? And some different sectors. So I'm writing blockchain, right? Click, and you will get the report. Right? There are hundreds of such, not even hundreds, maybe there are thousands of such reports available, right? And this is all you need to know. Write the name of the company, the sector, and PDF. That's it. Right? You'll automatically find it. All of these are freely available. If you don't write PDF, then you will get articles. So it's very important to write PDF there. Right? If you write PPT and all, you will not find PowerPoint presentations, but getting PDF is possible. Right? So let me just give you one more example. So if I say Deloitte and let's say apparel, so you can see that we have reports on the apparel industry. That's all. Right? So I hope this part is clear. Name of the firm, name of the sector, and PDF. The different firms that you can search for are Deloitte, KPMG, EY, PwC, Bain, BCG, Vacancy, and Accenture. These would be I feel the most important ones, right? So you have the Big Four, you have MBB, the three consulting firms, and Accenture. There are obviously many others, the IBM, SAP, search for anything. But then I think between these, you should find everything that you require. I mean, you will find more that you will ever need. Like, look at all this. You'll find so many reports. And the best part is that every report, like this one is very simple. You notice there is only a table in it, nothing special, right? But if you keep on searching, you will see that very beautiful reports. Look at this one. Right? So this one is so much more artistic, in the way it has been. This is almost like a Power BI dashboard, is it not? Everyone, if I can go back and show you what we did with this one, don't you feel what we have created is very similar to what they have done as well? Obviously, theirs is a little better. That's okay. I think ours looks very nice as well. And ours is completely interactive. Theirs is just a static page that they have created. Right? Oh, good. All right. Great. So let me just look at the time. It's 10:30. Let's do one more. So what I was planning was that I want to do Power Query with you and DAX with you, right? That would be a combined session that happens on Saturday. The reason for the combined session, I hope all of you saw that timetable, is that I felt it is important for all of you to be there, because what happens is that when one person asks a question of a different type, it is good because everybody can follow that same question and learn from it, right? That's why this will be a combined session that we have on Saturday. And then, of course, we have Tableau that starts on Monday as well. You will find Tableau much more simple than working on Power BI. Like a lot of you already have said that, so we feel Excel is a little tough and Power BI is a little simple. Tableau is even more simple than this, right? So what I feel we'll do tomorrow, right? Friday, we don't have a session. We have a session tomorrow. What I feel we'll do tomorrow, and tell me if all of you agree with this. Let's do some practice, okay? Which means that we will take a data set, not the same data set. I will give you a different data set, and we will try to make some visuals on it, right? And rather than me showing you and telling you, make this, make that, what I'll do is I will tell you to make it on your own, right? And I will only help you, I'll guide you, and all of you can give your suggestions. Will that help? Do you want to do that? Because this is what you will have to do at the final assessment also. You will have to make your own dashboard. So would you like to make a dashboard from scratch tomorrow with the new data, everyone? I think everybody is a yes on that. I think we have learned quite a lot. See, I can keep on teaching you for 1 month also. Power BI is never ending. But I think let's do this. Tomorrow, let's not learn more things. I think we have already learned quite a lot. I'm sure you will all agree with me. Let's practice tomorrow. Right? How we do it, we will decide. My suggestion is, we have 2 sessions, correct? Let's have a longer session. I would like both the batches to come in both the sessions. Okay, just hear me out. I'll tell you the reason behind it. Both the batches come in both the sessions, 9 to 11, batch A and B, 11:30 to 1:30, batch A and B. And we will practice with different data sets. So in the first session, we'll practice with the finance data. And in the second session, we'll practice with the manufacturing or HR data. Right, everybody? See, otherwise the point is that in the first session, I will do one data set. The second batch, I'll do a different. What is the point? It is, you want to practice more, right? That's what all of you were asking me. So let's do it this way. Tomorrow will be a double session. It will obviously be a little longer, but then it's worth it, right? So 9 to 11, we'll do 1 or 2 different sectors. And then 11:30 to 1:30, we'll do a different sector, right? If anybody would like to add something to this plan, let me know. So that, because I'll also have to prepare accordingly. Right? Just take a minute and let me know. I'll also write it down, so that all of us are on the same page. So what we'll do is, we'll have combined sessions for both batches, right? And there are 2 sessions. So we'll have 9 to 11. And we will have 11:30 to same time, okay? 11:30 to 1:30. In the 9 to 11 session, maybe we can look at finance. We can look at an HR data. And here we can look at a manufacturing data, and something else. Whatever you suggest, I'll be happy to pick that. Right? Any ideas that you would like to add? Anything you would like to suggest? So that we can plan this well for tomorrow. And once we have practiced and all of you are feeling comfortable, then on the Saturday session, I will do the more advanced topic. I'll give you an introduction to what more is there on Power BI, right? But that is a separate topic. Let's not worry about that. What we've done up till now, we'll continue it tomorrow.
Don't you think there should be a break of one hour between these two?
Do you want to have a 1 hour break in between?
Because it will be difficult, and actually the thing is ki it will be boring if we are getting lectures back to back.
See, but when you actually start with college, you will have lectures from morning till night. So, I mean,
it's okay. I'm just giving an idea. If you're comfortable,
that's okay. We are okay. I'm okay doing that. I would like to hear from the others.
Others are comfortable, then it's okay.
Yeah. Everyone else, please put your comment. Do you want to have a 30 minutes break or a 1 hour break?
So this is for tomorrow, like tomorrow 9 to 11 and 11:30 to 1:30. You have to attend both the sessions.
You have to attend both sessions because we'll be doing different examples, right? That's what you wanted, right? Not just to do one topic, but to do different examples.
Like the concepts are same or the concepts are also different?
No, the concept will be the same. We just practice what all we have done a lot of things, right? And that is what we'll practice tomorrow.
So I guess a person can attend one session and then just to practice and get a hang of it, we can watch the lecture later on in the evening on the portal.
See, but I would not recommend that because the point is that if that is the case, then all the recordings are already there on the portal. Then what is the point of coming for the session at all?
No, right? I mean, we can attend one just to get our concepts clear. And after that, just for practice, we can take that. But it's up to everybody.
Fair enough. So, so you all will have to attend your own batch. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
You will attend your own batch A and batch B, same time, 9 to 11. Then in that case, I'm not changing the time. So 9 to 11, 11:30 to 1:30. If you want to attend the other one live, you're more than welcome to come in. If you want to attend one and you want to watch the other one later, I'm okay with that, right? Sure.
Actually, as you know, I used to attend both the lectures,
right?
Many of the time, as you are aware. So that's why I'm sharing my experience according to that.
See, life is not easy. This is my calendar, okay? For last month. Do you see? Let me just show you any one date. Look at the 24th of June. I had a session from 10 to 11:30 with GSK, 11:45 till 3:45 with Indian Oil, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. with GSK, and then I have another 2-hour session with Korea University from 7 to 9 p.m. You have to get used to it. You have to get used to. I understand. I'm not saying no. I don't care about your learning. Just attend. Whether you're learning or not, it doesn't matter. Of course, it matters to me. But you have to get used to it that even if you attend 4 hours or 6 hours in a day, you have to learn how you can absorb more information, right? So I hope you understand why I'm saying that. Not because I want to put you under pressure, but you have to learn how to work under pressure because that is how your real work would be in the corporate. Right. Great. Okay. Great. So we'll do this tomorrow then. So let's continue with the next topic. I think that part is sorted. And please make a new page, everyone. This is a slightly more, I would not say it is a complex topic, but it is a slightly longer topic, right? So we spend about 10-15 minutes on this, but it's a beautiful example. What are we trying to do? We are trying to create something like this. Let me first explain what we're trying to do. Okay. The first time you look at the dashboard, it seems very simple. It doesn't look anything difficult or anything special, correct? But when I take my mouse over this simple chart that we have created, you notice that, what is it showing me? How would you describe this to somebody? like I'm showing you something right now. What would you say? What are we doing right now? We have made a chart, and see, whenever you make a chart, what happens? You get a number, isn't it? When you make a chart like this, when you take your mouse, you get a number, right? But right now, what is happening? When I take my mouse, what am I getting? Another chart, right? So the point is that I have made a chart, but if I would like to see even more detail, right, I can just see that there is another chart on top of it. Make sense? This is what we want to do. Now, what is this topic called? This topic is called tooltip. TOOLTIP. Tooltip, right? Why is it called a tooltip? I don't know. It's just a name that has been given. It's called a tooltip. So if I show you different examples on the tooltip on an image search, you will see that there are many different types of examples that have already been given. If you look at the first one, right? If you would look at the first one, you will see that we have a chart on top of which we have another chart. Same thing here. We have a chart, another chart. Right? Like this, there are many different examples that have been given here. Right? This, everybody, is what we are trying to create. So we will have a chart, and on top of that, we want to create another chart. Why is it useful? Because it gives you so much information. It looks beautiful. And without having to make different charts, you can have all the data appearing in a single chart. Right? That's what we want to create. Okay. Now, this would require us a few steps. So let's go through them one by one. Right? First, I would like all of you to make a chart. Very simple. Make a page. I'm just calling it my main chart. Right? That's the name of the sheet. And I am going to put my segment and my sales value. That's it. Everybody, please do this. Right? Very simple. We made a bar chart, and in the bar chart, we have kept the segment and the sales value, right? Okay. Now, what is my objective? My objective is that I would like to show, okay, listen carefully. I would like to show the top 5 customers for each of these segments. Right? The top 5 customers for each of these segments. Now, right now, it is only showing me the sales value, nothing else, obviously. But I would like to show something else. I would like to show the top 5 customers and their sales values. Right? Any questions so far? Anyone on the main chart before we continue? This part is good. Now let's make another page and let's call it the mini chart. Now remember, the name that I have given has no relevance. You can call it anything you want. But because I want you to understand properly what we are doing, that is why we are calling it a main chart and a mini chart, right? All right. Now, on this page, we will have to make a few changes, right? I'll tell you one by one what all to do. Please go to format, everybody. Please go to format on the mini chart page. Right? Go to format. Then you go to page information and turn on the tooltip. Right? So we turn on the tooltip. Now, what is it doing? It's a little hard to explain. Just remember that this is a step that you have to follow. We turn on the tooltip. Let me close this. The second thing that you have to do is to go to page size, and you have to change the size of the page. You have to make this a tooltip. So I'll tell you once again what we have done. In the page information, in the page information, we turn the tooltip on, and in the page size, we change the type to a tooltip. So these two things will always have to be done whenever you're working with a tooltip. When you want to make a chart within a chart, you will have to do this. Right? Now on this page, we want to make a table or maybe another chart, whatever we want. Let's say in this case, we want to make a table which will have a list of the top 5 customers. Right? Again, we'll go slow, step by step. I'll make a table. What we did earlier, matrix. And in the matrix, we will keep the customer name in the rows and the sales in the values, like this. And also click on sales so you can see the top customers, right? Like this. So the data has to be sorted. We are almost there. I think 90% of the work has been done. Let me know if you have any questions so far. Then we'll do that final step that we have to do. I hope all of you are able to see this. If not, let me know. So we made a matrix. We have kept the customer name in the rows and the sales in the values. right? Any questions, anybody so far? Doesn't matter. We only have one last step left. Let me complete that. If any of you got left out anywhere, I'll ask you to share your screen and I'll tell you how to do it, right? Now we come back to the main chart. We select the visualization. I go to format and we select the tooltip, the second last option. And all of you can guess what we want to do. We want to connect the two pages. Now this means that I will click on page and select the mini chart. If you have done this correctly, right, this will happen. Isn't this amazing? I can take my mouse over the consumer segment. It tells me who the top customers are, the top customers for corporate and the top customers for home office, like this. Okay. I'll just wait for 1 minute so that all of you can look at it. Then I'll stop my screen sharing. If you have done 80%, 50%, 20%, whatever it is, just share your screen and I'll help you with the rest.
So how did you import it? Can you just show it once again?
You can share your screen and I'll help you with it. I'm not sure what importing are you referring to here.
No, actually the final step, the combining of two charts.
I'm sorry, tell me once again.
The combining of two charts.
That's okay. You can share your screen. I'll help you with it.
All right, just a second.
You can't scroll it. So Nishi, when the second chart is appearing, you can only view it. That is why we don't keep a lot of data on the second chart. The scrolling will not be possible, right? Yeah. So Karan, you can select the chart. Right? Now go to format, go to tooltip, the second last option, right? Select the page. Right?
All right, this was the only thing I was asking.
That's it, right? Now just confirm once. Take your mouse over any one of the bars on the chart. You don't need to click it, just take your mouse over it. You don't need to click it. I don't know, just show me the other, yeah. So the only difference is just come to the other page. You haven't changed the size, we'll have to do that. Please go to format, go to page size and make it tooltip.
Okay.
Correct. Now the only problem is that your chart has disappeared. No, it is coming, but that table has disappeared, right? So
I'll tell you that again.
I'll tell you. Go back to type in the page size. Where you select it, make it back to 16 by 9. Right. Cut this, select it, press Ctrl X. No, don't delete it. Yeah, just cut it. Now reduce the size. Right. Now just click inside and paste it. Correct. That's it. Now just go back and you'll be able to see the data. Remember everyone, you cannot scroll the data on any chart. So you can only see the data as it is, right? I know a lot of you must be thinking, but what's the point? See, the point is not to scroll the data. The point is just to see the top 5 customers, right? Working?
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. I'm not sharing my screen. If anybody else wants to ask anything or if you want to share your screen, please let me know. Anybody else? Any questions? If you would like to share your screen. So I'll take you through the steps once again. We created one page with a chart. It could be any chart, right? So I can also change it to a column chart, right? Or a line chart. That doesn't matter. You will still be able to see the customers like this. Right? What if you don't keep the segment? What if I change it to the order date? Then also it will work. If you notice, let's say I have the data like this. I can take my mouse and it tells me for every single month, right? Which are the top customers. See, this is a very powerful tool because this will allow you to show more data on top of existing charts, right? And tooltip, I think, is one of the things that you should always be using, no matter what type of data you have and what sector or function you're working in, right? This will always be required. Right. So today we have not done a lot of new topics today, but that's okay. I think this discussion was also important. So we have done the matrix. One very important thing I've covered for you is how to create rules. So we created 3 rules: less than 0, 0 to 25, and more than 25. And then we also did the tooltip. This topic is also very, very important. Right? And it could be anything else. So like, for example, right now it's a table. But if you have made this into another chart like this, then that chart will appear. Right? What is the correct chart to make? That you have to decide. I can't tell you what to make. That you will have to experiment and you will have to decide. And the best way to understand and find out the different ideas is to go online and search. Just say Power BI tooltip, and you will find many other ideas available. Great. Let me save the file. So once again, remember tomorrow's agenda is that we will have the session at the same time, but we will be working with a new data set and different types of data sets. And the way we'll do the session is that I would not tell you what type of chart to make. We will have a discussion. You guys tell me what type of chart to make. And of course, since we're working with a new data, we'll get the chance to practice a little more. Right. Any questions, anybody? Can we export this data in PowerPoint or Word? Will you be able to see the combined chart in other tool as well? Absolutely, 100% no. Right? PowerPoint and Word has no connectivity with Power BI. There is a way that you can save the Power BI report as a PowerPoint, but then this chart within a chart and all will not appear. What you see will just be a screenshot, right? So you're not supposed to take the data from Power BI into any other tool. You're supposed to present it directly on Power BI itself. Good. Any other question? So let me have an interaction with the second batch as well. So that will get over at 1:30. And once that discussion also happens, I will be sending all of you an email sharing an outline of what we'll be covering tomorrow. Right? I also have, I'm not 100% decided on what I want to do. I have a broad idea, but let me take inputs from the second batch as well. And I will send all of you an email with instructions as to what we we will be doing tomorrow. Right. Any questions? Right. For all the students who have joined in yesterday and a few days before, I know there's a lot of catching up that you have to do, but there are no shortcuts, right? That I can tell you, no, don't worry. Of course, you have to worry because you have a lot of catching up to do, but the recordings have already been shared with you. You will have to stay up for 4 hours, 6 hours, watch everything. Any questions you have, you can ask me anytime. But then it will not be possible to do the topics again, obviously. So you will have to, watch the recording and then ask me questions. Can we increase the size of the tooltip? Absolutely. So you can go to format and you can select any page size that you want. Okay. So you can make it wider, narrower, taller, shorter. That is possible. Right? You can choose any size that you want. Excellent. All right then. So we have covered 3 days of Power BI. I think we have done a lot. Now it's time to not do more things, but sit back and practice. And that is something we'll be doing tomorrow. Saturday, of course, I'll introduce the more advanced topics to you as well. Okay? Great. All right then. Expect an email from me around 2:30 or so, and then I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.